Greetings, everyone, and thank you for tuning into my channel. Today, I'm excited to delve into the captivating narrative of the romantic drama, The Intimate Stories of Pippa Lee. This film unfolds the tale of Pippa, who relocates with her spouse to a serene suburban setting. Soon, she encounters a charming individual, prompting Pippa to fondly reminisce about the valuable lessons learned during her spirited youth. The movie kicks off with a scene at a party where Sam, a friend of Pippa's husband, admires his prowess in writing and publishing, celebrating his upcoming move to Connecticut. Herb Lee clarifies that the relocation is due to health issues rather than any sentimental connection to his friend. Pippa confides in her son about her discomfort with Sam's remarks, but he dismisses it, asserting that nothing can shake his father's ego. Expressing concern for Pippa, a young man labels her as an enigma. Pippa's voiceover takes us through glimpses of her birth, disclosing her mother's shock at the baby being born with white hair, despite doctors deeming it normal. While her father, a priest, accepts this calmly, Suki believes it's a consequence of past sins. Returning to the present, Herb confides in Pippa about his apprehensions regarding the future. Pippa reassures him that the move signifies the start of their new life. The narrative then shifts to Pippa's childhood, where Suki, observing the change in hair color, begins to perceive her daughter as the most beautiful. Waking up beside her husband, Pippa discovers an intruder has entered their home, leaving a mess and devouring their cake. During dinner, she shares this incident with her husband, who denies any involvement. Their daughter, a daring reporter in perilous locations, arrives at the gathering, engrossed in conversation with Herb while disregarding her mother. The son intervenes, revealing that Grace, the daughter, nearly faced a life-threatening situation during her reporting, a fact she deliberately concealed. The family engages in conversation, yet Pippa remains excluded. The woman fondly reminisces about her mother, a true heroine and role model who, despite illness, displayed remarkable care and patience. During Suki's difficult days, Pippa consistently sought to provide comfort. In the current moment, Dort visits Pippa, sharing concerns about her son's issues. Pippa, in turn, reveals she's facing similar challenges with her daughter. Subsequently, Pippa confronts her husband over his excessive work, which is jeopardizing his health. Ben supports his wife, emphasizing the need to prioritize life over work, especially since Herb has already experienced 3 seizures. Intrigued by peculiar occurrences, such as finding a sock in the fridge, Pippa decides to install cameras to unravel the mysteries within their home. As Pippa observes Dort and her son during a visit, she discusses the situation with her husband. While spending time with a friend, Pippa encounters Chris. In a flashback, 16-year-old Pippa discovers her mother's altered behavior due to medication. Expressing a desire to know the authentic Suki, not the one influenced by stimulants, Pippa convinces her mother to forego the pills, leading to increasingly unconventional behavior. In a bid to comprehend her mother, the frustrated Pippa takes pills and experiences a night of revelry. Realizing Suki's resistance to change and her desire to involve her daughter in her choices, Pippa decides to escape, climbing out through the roof. In the present, aided by the cameras, Pippa unravels the mystery of her nightly escapades, revealing she is a sleepwalker. Her husband consoles her, assuring her that everything will be alright. The following day, Pippa goes shopping and encounters Chris, Dort's son, unexpectedly working at the cash register. Engaging in friendly conversation, Pippa finds Chris to be somewhat pessimistic about reality. Despite her initial request for cigarettes, Pippa clarifies she doesn't smoke, but Chris astutely offers her matches as well. Pippa's friends, Sam and Sandra, visit the Lee family for dinner. Feeling a bit lost amidst their dialogue, Pippa steps out onto the porch to smoke, once again immersed in memories. Following her departure from home, she sought refuge at her aunt's, where she met her friend, Kat. Trish informs everyone that her parents are on their way, emphasizing the importance of their care for the underage girl. During the meeting, emotions run high as Suki tearfully questions what she's done to make her daughter avoid living with them. The tense dialogue leaves Pippa distressed, prompting her to escape once again. Returning home, she comforts a crying friend who is being tormented by the sarcastic Sam. In a conversation with Herb, Pippa hints at Sandra's extramarital affair. The following day, the couple visits Mr. Lee's new office. Expressing gratitude for the space, the husband praises Pippa as the standout woman from the office. Amidst an eerie sound, Pippa witnesses a roadside accident, with a worried Chris beside a dog. Other participants provide comfort to the victims, leaving Pippa in shock. During a subsequent meeting, Sandra discloses her breakup with Sam. Pippa attempts to console her friend, emphasizing that marriage relies not only on love but also on the collaborative efforts of both partners. As Pippa reflects on this, she notices men surrounding the new Sandra, prompting her to snap back to reality. Standing on the lawn, she unexpectedly sees a lion and hears Chris's voice. In a dreamlike sequence, Pippa engages in a conversation with a man, captivating him with her words. Abruptly, Pippa awakens in tears, and Chris tries to reassure her. In a flashback, she wakes up after a party with a strong desire to see Herb again. The two spend time together, with Herb encouraging Pippa to cultivate a love for reading, guiding her away from idleness and an empty life. Eventually, Herb invites her to dinner at his house, where Pippa confesses her feelings of failure. Herb provides comfort. In reality, a pottery class takes a negative turn when the instructor unfairly criticizes Pippa, leading her to leave. In the flashback, she joins Herb for dinner with his wife. Witnessing Mrs. Lee's distraught state, Mrs. Lee, on the verge of taking her own life, threatens her husband's new lover. Pippa realizes that marrying Herb was her last chance for a happy and prosperous life. The protagonist reflects on a daily routine, akin to a dance, where she meticulously repeats movements to shed her former self and embrace the persona of Pippa Lee. In real time, she stumbles upon her husband's office to discover her friend Sandra there. Herb confesses to dating Sandra post-move, and it has evolved into something more. He expresses a desire to end things with his wife. In a moment of frustration, Sandra injures her hands, and Pippa, setting aside her own concerns, provides first aid. Exiting the office, the protagonist feels an unexpected lightness. Later, over drinks and food with Chris, she recounts the events. Chris, harboring feelings for her, finally kisses Pippa, reciprocated. Their embrace is interrupted by Chris's mother, Dort. At home, Herb attempts to apologize, but Pippa, emotionally detached, expresses her readiness for a swift divorce. While leaving in her car, Pippa realizes she forgot some items. Upon returning home, she discovers Herb unconscious on the floor. At the hospital, Sandra tries to apologize, but Pippa remains distant. Grace, Pippa's daughter, arrives in panic over her father's health. A call from Sam professing love is met with Pippa's unreciprocated feelings. In the car, Pippa informs Grace that Herb won't be able to communicate, he's essentially brain dead. Back home, Grace apologizes for her past behavior and expresses a desire to know her real mother, wanting to be close friends. Pippa gladly agrees, and they share a heartfelt embrace. At night, Chris, concerned, suggests a drive to help Pippa unwind. They grow closer and experience intense emotions. On the way back, Pippa decides to visit the hospital. She bids farewell to Herb, and the next day, with her children, makes the difficult decision to disconnect him from life support, understanding that it's a kinder fate than a life of incomprehension and suffering. Pippa makes a bold choice to embark on a journey to the western horizon alongside her companion, Chris. She shares her decision with her children, bidding them a heartfelt farewell. And with that poignant moment, our story concludes.